Why is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with more transfer news. One good story, one maybe not so good. I'll get into it in just a moment. Before I do, please hit a like on the video. It really does help out the channel. Drop your comments below and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to Cy Harris for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated. I did a video earlier today. All things Daniel Farke, your thoughts, things that he needs to change going forward in order for us to be successful. Because by my admission, I feel like this league is weaker and we should win this league. But for a lot of you, it seems that the roadblock could be Daniel Farke. So go back to that video, get the full context in what I've asked there, because I do think we're going to go up. But it's on the case that if we don't start well, okay? But full details are in that video. And listen, if you want to become a member of the channel, which just helps me out, helps the channel out, the link is in the description. Now, let's start with the good news first. Let's still go with the good news, because today, in fact, a few hours ago, the Foot Mercato site, which is it's pretty good. It's pretty good in terms of their information. So I've got no problems bringing them up here. But they have declared that Marseille, wait, I've got the French one right there. Let me just scroll down for you. Let me just scroll down. Here we go. Marseille explore possibility of signing Illan Meslier from Leeds United. Now, we know De Zerbi has just gone in the door for Marseille. Marseille are looking to reshape their team, and I'll show you a few deals in just a moment. But there's the curveball. What I was talking about before when that list was sent out to agents of what Leeds United are looking for, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. You can have your plans, you can have positions that you feel you want to strengthen, but you just never know who's going to come in. Now, if De Zerbi doesn't go Marseille, are Marseille looking at Meslier? Maybe not. But those are the things you've got to prepare yourself in football. But for me, this is great news. This is just top news. And I hope Leeds United do strike a deal with Marseille to get this done. And I think it would be good for Illan Meslier too, a good career reset. He's still young enough to get better. I'm just not convinced it's going to be here. I think we've seen the downward trajectory of this goalkeeper, and it's not getting any better. Even in the championship, it hasn't gotten better. And it's not just the eye test that tells you that. It's even the stats. So there's nothing that backs up that Illan Meslier is going to be any better for us. And also with that, you got to go while the iron's hot. He got 19 clean sheets. Now, for me, I've always said clean sheets are a team stat. I even count that in hockey too. It's your individual goalie stats. And I've been on through these before about Illan Meslier, and they are low. You know, Leicester City were the best team, and they had the best keeper to go with it. His save percentage was through the roof. Ipswich Town are currently trying to get a new goalkeeper because their goalkeeper was mid. So it doesn't surprise me that they're actively looking for a keeper. Our keeper was below average overall. And the best period he had was when we had that Ampadu, Rodon, Gruev, Kamara shield in front of him, where he wasn't seeing any shots, people. He was hardly seeing any shots. That was the best way to keep him sheltered. And we saw towards the end of the season, he wasn't the only one, but he crumbled towards the end of the season. And as much as he made a great save in the second leg versus Norwich, the first leg, you saw the nerves all over him. And if you don't believe me, please go back and watch it near the start of the game. He looked like he wanted to be anywhere but in goal that day. And I think that's where I am with Illan Meslier. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him personally in goal. I feel like there's much better out there. And even if Leeds United, I don't know if the Darlow class something would run. I think they will go for another goalkeeper. But as I've said before, Rodak is still free. You sell Meslier, get a good price for him. You could bring in Rodak on a free transfer, cash money. Even better, if you could sell Meslier, get in Strakosha from Brentford if he's willing to drop down. If he's willing to drop down, I think with that kind of deal, it would probably be a permanent, in terms of a view to a permanent move, along with a view to a permanent, I should say. And I would absolutely do that. Strakosha in this league, I think we'd hardly concede any goals. I'll be real with you. He's just dominant. And in this division, I think he would be brilliant. He's a commanding goalkeeper, which is something that we need, and it's something that Illan Meslier isn't. Now, Marseille, as I've said, are looking to restructure their team. One of the ways they're doing that is they're bringing in nearly 20 million euros on Iliman Ndiaye, the former Sheffield United player. He is moving to Everton. I think that is pretty much done. But in the meantime as well, I mentioned this on a stream a couple of days ago, actually. Ismail Kone is leaving Watford for around 12.5 million plus add-ons. So, you know, they're already kind of using a little bit of that money to re-strengthen their team. And they have also got another deal in place where they're going to pay 11 million pounds next summer. It's a loan with obligation to buy of 11 million pounds for Illan Meslier. So you can see that Marseille and De Zerbi are looking to strengthen the team into his makeup, and that is absolutely brilliant. And if he feels that Illan Meslier is the way to go, then cool. Then cool. But what I know what's going to happen in the comments. They're going to say if he's good enough for Marseille, then why isn't he good enough for Leeds? I just feel that his growth has been stunted here, and we've been through the goalkeeper coaches. He's on his second now. I just think that he needs a fresh start, and I do think that there's a good goalkeeper in Illan Meslier somewhere. I just don't think we're going to see it at this football club. So if Leeds and the 49ers are smart, they will do their best to get a deal done and replace him on the cheap. And you can do that and then use that money and invest in areas where we are needing it. We need left back, right back. You know, we need all of these, don't we? We need to see what's happening with Max Verber at centre back. But there's money there to reinvest in the team. So for me, it makes too much sense. But let me know in the comments what you think in regards to that. Now, the other story, which isn't so good, in my opinion, is that Chelsea, they are actively recruiting, as we know, and you know they're getting all their ducks in order before the PSR period of the 30th. But you got to think when July hits, they're going to be spending a bit of cash. And Dewsbury Hall from Leicester is one. I believe that deal may. I don't know if it's advanced, but Leicester do need to sell, as we all know. And Dewsbury Hall is wanted by his ex-manager Maresca at Chelsea, as he plays the way that he likes to play, which makes sense. Unfortunately, Leicester also are looking at Archie Gray. Now, I've said I think Archie Gray might be here come the start of the season, but Parag didn't make a promise for us for a reason. He didn't promise that Gray was going to be here for a reason because he couldn't guarantee it, which is great. Don't promise something that you can't keep. Obviously, it just doesn't. You know, you lose faith with football fans in that way. So he didn't say Archie Gray is going to be here. Now, Chelsea, it all depends on how much they're willing to spend. I think the 49ers have got a pretty high price for Archie Gray. And I will also think that they'll look at what Chelsea have just bought from Villa, that very unproven player for about 19 million, and say, well, if you spent 19 million on that, then Archie Gray is worth considerably more, even though we all know that the 19 million was all to do with PSR purposes. We know that. But that shouldn't change the 49ers stats. Now, I hope that this is just, you know, interest that doesn't amount to anything. But we know when Chelsea starts spending, it's pretty ruthless. It's pretty brutal. They go to amounts that other people don't. They're kind of like the new age Man United where they overpay for players. But for me, I would much prefer Archie to be here, to be one of the core players here, along with Mateo Joseph, Jorginho, of course, Jorginho, Pascal Stroud, Ethan Ampadu. I'd love him to stay in that beautiful core that we've got and add to it. But of course, we know if the offer is unbelievable, it's going to be hard for Leeds United to say no. It's going to be hard. And will Archie stay? Would he want to go to Chelsea? It's Premier League. I think of his mate that's out at the Euros now, in Wharton from in the midfield. He's probably thinking, I could be there. I'm just as good. I can make an impact in the Premier if I'm given the opportunity. So you just never know. My personal, I believe that he should, not should. I would like to see him give us another year. And if we don't get out of this garbage league this season, then not only should we wave him off goodbye, but we should make it a sweet one as well, because we wouldn't deserve him. We wouldn't deserve him. There's so much more to come from Archie Gray. I keep seeing comments about Archie Gray like, you know, he didn't do much last season. He's growing. You know, I've said many times before, he hasn't reached his full form yet. He's going to get better. And I would like us to bear the fruits of that. But I would like him to give us another year if possible. But of course, money talks in this game, as we all know. So people, those are the two pieces of news that have come out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Where do you think Meslier? Do you think Meslier is going to go? Would you like him to stay? Give me your thoughts on Archie Gray. And people, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Oh, like the video. Like it.